there's two components to an artificial lure. Every artificial lure. The first component is you need something that's going to get the fish's attention. Whether it's contrasting colors or lots of reflecting or refracting light, lots of glitter, things like that, or vibration in the water. That's basically it, The second component is a trigger element, something that's going to make them strike, right? For me, the trigger element's always going to be put a night crawler on it, put some maggots on the hook. Nothing's going to trigger the fish to bite like a real piece of meat. A lot of people say, well, why go through the trouble of having all these artificials? Well, with the live bait, because the artificials get their attention better than the live bait. They just come from a further distance around because they feel all this vibration going on, and they turn around and they see this contrasting color, or they see this reflection going on, and they come in closer to see what it is. And then there's this nice juicy European night crawler on there. They strike, right? I mean, that's how that works. Let me show you an example. I wanted to use these last season more often. I didn't. I made these up. These. Why would a fish bite this? Right? Easy. Contrasting colors. I think it goes. Yeah. Contrasting colors. That would get the fish's attention. Now this goes through the water column. It kind of rolls like that. It's nothing fancy. But when a fish sees it, those contrasting colors will get a fish's attention. Contrasting colors get fish's attention. What will make a fish strike this? The eyeballs. The eyeballs of a minnow, right? And so they'll strike, right? Okay, now this one has a little bit of a lip in it, so it'll have a very subtle wiggle waggle through the water, kind of like a rattle trap, but just very subtle and slow. Now it won't rattle fast, it'll just subtly slow, because this is oak, so it's a heavy wood, okay? Why would a fish bite this? Well, first it'll get their attention because it is slowly making its way through the water. Contrasting colors. Contrasting colors attract fish. That's why a lot of old school lures were just red and silver, or red and white, or red and yellow, and that was it, right? Why would it strike? Eyeballs. They know that shad have eyeballs. They see those eyeballs, and that's a trigger element, right? It doesn't look like a fish. No, it just takes the trigger elements and just gives you the impression, right? It's just of something. It's just highlighting the elements. Okay, with this, it surely doesn't look like a fish, right? But what are the elements? The elements are lots of vibration. You get those two frequencies spinning in the water, right? That gets their attention. Reflection, reflected light, reflection, the rhinestone there holds their attention. The trigger, nightcrawler on the back. That's the trigger, right? So it's not an artificial trigger, it's a live bait trigger. But the elements are still there. Whenever you want to catch fish, you have to do two things. You have to get their attention, and you have to trigger them to bite. It doesn't matter if you're fishing live bait or not. Even with live bait, I'll chum up the area. Why? Because the chum adds scent to the water that gets their attention, right? And then when they get to that area where I'm chumming, they see some worms, they bite. It's the same principle. So you apply those principles whenever you want to find a lure that really works. It's important.